Hello YouTube, Mike at Carbonite Lab here, sharing another video with you. This time it is my Crimson Hunter, my Exarch. When this model came out, I was extremely excited because 6th edition brought flyers, and of course when this came out, the new Eldar Codex came out with it, and the models appearing in a White Dwarf. I saw this and I thought, wow, this is really cool. It didn't disappoint. So I bought one and I studied the pictures and the White Dwarf, and of course in the new Codex. I was studying the paint scheme, and I wasn't sure about this paint scheme, I'll be honest with you, but the more and more I looked at it, it grew on me. So I decided to go with this paint scheme because he's an aspect warrior, and I like the aspect warrior paint schemes for the most part. I decided when it came to this model, I didn't like the idea of having to choose between the Crimson Hunter or the Hemlock Wraith Fighter, so I decided, screw it, I'm going to build one model that represents both, just in case I decide that I want to run one or the other. So consequently, I decided to model it up a little bit and add all the different wing options. The canards in the front, along with the Wraith Fighter center spine and dorsal fin. Took a little bit of extra modeling, but I think it came out pretty good. When you're building this model, it's good to have extra clamps and rubber bands on hand to help press the vehicle and the model's pieces in place, so that way you don't end up with gaps when you're done. I have seen them built before where they end up gappy right along where the pieces come together because of the natural bow and shape to this model. But with a little bit of time and patience, this model comes out really good, and it's one of the cooler models in 40K as far as I'm concerned when it comes to a vehicle. In my head, I think it's the best looking flyer that the game has so far. And as far as the color scheme goes, I kept it the Exarch color scheme, or I should say the aspect warrior color scheme. The black and white panels on all the edges of the wings and the canards. The rear I just did in a basic gunmetal as far as the engines go. Highlighted them with silver and then washed them with an oil wash. The red is a combination of mahogany in the recesses, a crimson red for the base color, and then a red as the highlight, and finally ending in an orange for extreme highlight. Not really going to show up here on this camera. I think my iPad camera is going to be able to pick that stuff up. The underside of it was the first model I've actually painted two-tone like this, but it was a combination of sand and a bone color, and then finally ending in white. There you can see both bright lances and the pulse laser underneath. And I like how I kept the color scheme for the wings underneath and the alternating black and white panels. What I didn't do yet on this model was paint the gemstones. There's a lot of spots where you can paint gemstones on here, but I was looking to get this model to a tabletop standard because I was dying to put him in my warhost and play him right away. And what I found is that the more and more I play, I get so caught up in everything, I have yet to go back and actually paint the gemstones. So like I said with my fire prism, the gemstones are going to be trophies of war, in which case this model has probably at least 7 gemstones that are worth painting on it at the moment, thanks to its ability to knock down enemy flyers. The base was just something simple. Just used like a gravel type deal on the base, edged it in like a brown, goes with the rest of my models. And that was pretty much it. I mean, I used the Crimson Hunter decal there, and the Sam Han decal there. It really came out. I really am happy with how this model come out. It's been lots of fun. Now, the way I like to play this guy is the Crimson Hunter Exarch. Now, considering that I'm going to pay 160 points to start for this model, is kind of pricey. Making him the Exarch for an extra 20 points is very expensive, but it's worth it in my opinion. Giving him ballistic skill 5, you throw him in the army with an autarch, and now you can dictate when he comes in to just complete his mission for air superiority. Exarch gives him a +1 or -1 to my reserve rolls, so he comes in when he's needed. And without doubt, when he comes in, he always has something to shoot at and enemy flyers fall from the sky. He's never let me down. This model has never actually been killed in any game that I've played yet. He's always left flying around the table shooting at whatever's left, whether it be independent characters or trying to shoot at a power fist in a unit, something along those lines. This model has Vector Dancer, and as far as I know, it's the only model in 40K that has Vector Dancer, which really gives him an awesome opportunity to just strafe from side to side of the board edge. Whether it's in your deployment zone or on the flanks of the table, this model can strafe back and forth, and that's how I like to run him. I'll bring him on and I'll strafe him from my enemy's deployment zone back to my deployment zone, and then repeat the process every turn, never having to leave the table. Other enemy flyers, they're usually getting knocked out of the sky, but they don't have that ability, so they have to create this large square pattern around the table if they choose to do so, or they leave the table because they don't want to get hit, or because of their orientation on the table, they can't make it with that 90-degree turn, so they have to fly off. This guy doesn't have that problem. He gets to sit back on the side of the board and just strafe back and forth until all the enemy flyers are gone, and then he starts working on tanks or independent characters, things like that. This guy has been a very resilient model, surprisingly. AV-10 all the way around. I didn't think that he was going to last that long. It's kind of like a flying Viper, really. Except being a flyer, you know, you need 6s to hit him unless you have some kind of a special rule. But he's never been knocked out of the sky yet. Now, he has been hit, and he was vector locked, which, you know, hurt a little bit, but it still didn't knock him down. It still didn't take him out of the game. So there you are. I figured I would share my Crimson Hunter with you. One of my favorite models in the new Eldar Codex. Really love this guy. He is expensive in points, but I find that he's worth it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed him as well. Oh, look at that. I love that view from the rear with all that contrasting white and black on the edge of the wings. If you guys have an Eldar army and you're curious about taking this model, running it in your war host, I'd say do it. He's worth it. Takes up a fast attack slot. I currently use 2 squads of Vipers and my Crimson Hunter, and it fulfills all my fast attacks because it goes with my Samhan war host. Everything is fast, everything hovers or flies, and it works. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any doubts about the Crimson Hunter, I'd say get it, paint it, put it on the table, and run it. I think you'll be happy with it. Or if you don't have it, find something to proxy with it and then give it a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how useful this model is. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video again, and thanks for watching.